Okay, so Cat Blaq did a video about do trans people need help? Now, Cat Blaq is a well known among the trans community as an individual who speaks their mind and actually gives out good advice and all that other crap. I actually met Cat Blaq. I mean, we don't hold conversations, we don't message each other back and forth or anything of that nature. I actually found out about Cat and subbed through the channel through a comment she made on one of my videos, which was about the first homecoming queen that is trans getting bullied. In that, I said, well, I don't agree with it. And I still don't. But I'm going to go into that later. But if that's the way you want to live, it's more of an honorable thing to do. To live that way that you chose with the full resolve without thinking, well, maybe I'd be more accepted if I live the way that I don't believe that I should. Really. People like that have no value to me. I mean, if you are a guy who thinks that you're a woman trapped in a man's body, live that way to the fullest, or shut the fuck up. At least that's how I believe it. Now, in that video, Kat actually thought that I was a girl turned guy, transsexual, for a second. I was surprised at how deep my voice is. Well, I can blame most of that on the cigarettes, but I'm Asian, so that's gonna happen a lot. What is Asian known for? Dick chicks. Yeah, I'm sure if I was coached in how all the mannerisms of a female, I could probably pull it off. If I shaved the beard and all that. Okay. Now, back to me not agreeing with it. Now, I believe that people, when they're born something, then they should live that way their entire life. And I look at a lot of these transsexuals, and they have very little paperwork saying that they really are or anything of that nature on a biological level. So most of it, to me, I look at it, and it's a life choice. I don't agree with it, but you know what? If a transsexual came to me looking for a job and, well, if I had a business, I wouldn't give two shits and a fuck that they're trans if they can work the work and do everything to the status in which it should be done. However, this also brings up a bunch of other questions and things of that nature that I'm not going to go into now. Something in my throat. Like, how should a trans be treated at school? Should a transsexual guy be allowed in the girls' bathroom? Things of that nature. Now, do trans people need help? Looking at Kat, nah, doesn't need help. Not at all. Okay. Kat doesn't need any help. Kat lives the female lifestyle perfectly, has a wonderful boyfriend, blah, 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 blah. What kind of trans would need help? Well, I got a couple examples here. Now, let me give you the first one. This is one that I dealt with personally. I used to work at a nursing home, and the Hippocratic Oath doesn't allow me to give out any personal information. In fact, I don't even know if I'm allowed to give out the information I'm giving out now. This individual was a guy, looked like the stereotypical lumberjack, giant fucking beard. Wasn't super muscular, but yeah, other than that, yeah. Worked at a farm all day, came back in the night. Why does this individual need to be at a nursing home? Because the guy's batshit fucking crazy. A list of like 3 pages of different problems this guy had. Schizophrenia, just, yeah. And I had to hand this guy his pills every morning. Had to just leave it right there on his counter. Yeah, all that type of crap. As well, usually he left before everyone else did. Sometimes he'd have breakfast with us, sometimes he would not. It was a small nursing home. I'm not going to go really all that much into it. But I'm just sitting there and in the smoke room when he comes home one night. Your dinner's in the microwave. I'll warm it up for you after the cigarette. Sits down, has a conversation with me, and then just out of nowhere, sometimes I feel like a woman. What? Oh yeah, gender identity issues. That's one of the issues that he has. This is a guy who lives pretty much every stereotypical man lifestyle and gender identity issues. This guy needs help. Why do I say he needs help? It's not just the gender identity issues, it's the other issues that this fucker has, and combined with that. Second example of a transsexual that needs help. You see all these teenagers. In order to gain acceptance, a lot of them will claim to be something that they're not. They know they're not, but they'll claim it anyways, and they'll try to live that lifestyle in order to gain acceptance. Oh, I'm bi. Not really bi. Never had a thought of another man or anything of that nature. Just claiming it. Those people piss me off. And some, in order to get the recognition that they want and feel accepted, will go so far as to get the surgery. Now think about it like this. You get a teenager who just wants acceptance, claiming that they're transsexual, trying to get a little bit of attention for themselves. Get the surgery, then years later, oh my god, I just have a mutilated penis. I'm not really a girl. I fucked my life up. That's my second example there, which leads into the third. The people who are unsure, who need help. I've said this many times. If you want to be something, you want to believe that you're something, you do it to the fullest of resolve and have absolutely no doubts in your mind before you actually make the decision. If you get the surgery, if there's a single wavering thought before that knife touches you, you should stop and then reassert yourself and rethink. Is that what you really want? We see a lot of cases where so-called transsexuals come back. They're one gender, and then suddenly they come back just some random day. They're another. That is when you have problems. If you're going to live this sort of lifestyle, you need to have the fullest resolve to do so. Otherwise, you'll just cause nothing but problems for yourself. Nothing but problems for yourself. Like I said before, I don't agree with that. I believe that if you're born a male, you should stay a male the rest of your life. But if that's the way you want to live, go ahead and fucking do it. Just make sure you have the fucking resolve to do it. And as such, that person has more value to me than anybody who has any wavering thoughts on anything. If I was a business owner and I had the chance to hire a trans, if they can do the full requirements of what I ask them to do, I don't give two shits and a fuck. If they don't fulfill the requirements of what I want them to do, I'm not going to fire them for being trans. I'm going to fire them for not being able to work. But what if they're having problems with them being trans? I'll recommend a psychologist or something like that. Maybe send them to Cat Blaq's channel. But I have no use for anyone who has wavering thoughts and opinions on how they should live their life, regardless of gender or gender identity. Many cultures throughout the centuries, Eastern cultures in particular, have looked at transsexuals or males dressed as females, dick chicks, things of that nature, homosexuals, as, oh, you're that? I don't care. So long as you fulfill the duties you had to do, no shit's given. Which is where I find my identity issues. Well, not issues, my identity as a human being. When it comes to my philosophy on certain things, I take more upon my Asian side, and combined with a lot of what I have in my American side, then it comes out to one interesting little mixture. Some of my thoughts and opinions are old and archaic. Some of them are considered to be new and groovy to other people. So I gave you an example on the trans people who need help. People like Cat Blaq don't need any help. No, not at all. There was also that trans woman who killed herself recently, who needed help, but not in a different way. But in a different way. I can't remember the individual's name, but apparently was like the shining beacon of hope for a lot of the transsexuals and the people who were thinking about going through the transition. This individual had from the male lifestyle that they lived, kids, a wife, and all that, and then went over to being a female. That put a lot of stress on the individual, and so that person needed help in a different way. How do you deal with the stress? How do you cope with the family? And that's my final example. Now, a lot of people think that a lot of transsexuality comes from abuse in the home and things of that nature, over nurturing mothers. When that comes up and that subject comes up, yeah, I believe some trans people do come from these things. Not all of them, but I believe a lot of them do come from these things. Regardless of which, if you want to live that lifestyle, you fucking do it. But I also think that if you should examine the lifestyle that you were given in the first place before, well, supposedly was supposed to have, and examine that and see which one you like more before you go into that. Make the final decision on whether you're going to be male or female or whatever. Now, let's see, where was I? Another thing that's causing a lot of people to come out and think that they're trans or whatever, have them be more lenient towards being a homosexual and things of that nature. Why there's so many feminine guys out there, and why there's still, in contrast, very few butch women. Is that we also have a lot of estrogen mimicking hormone crap in our food and other objects of that nature. Certain types of ceramics and plastics and glass have estrogen mimicking hormones in it, which also cause things over time periods. Causes a lot of guys to lean towards more acting and behaving like females than other things. But that's just because of how we've done things, because it's cheaper to put in the estrogen mimicking hormones and things of that nature. Cause the beef to be extra lean or some shit like that in our foods. Yeah, we got a lot of mimicking hormones and things. That's why you see people who eat a lot of soybeans become feminized. There was actually a test done a few years back where they gave soy, a certain type of soy, I believe it was unfermented, to a bunch of chimpanzees, and certain chimpanzees became very, very submissive. They were all male too, to certain chimpanzees. Other chimpanzees became fucking aggressive and evil and just nasty fucking creatures. And everything that those nasty chimpanzees wanted they'd make the submissive chimpanzees do. This was a lab test involved with how the soy actually works with things. And a lot of that shit's in our food now, so that also works on that sort of level within the guys. It affects guys more than girls. So there I am giving a scientific explanation for a lot of things right there. But still, like I said before, if I was a business owner and a trans came up to me asking for a job, I don't give a shit. I may not agree with it, but who gives a shit? It's not my life, it's yours. You live it the way you want to, not the way I ask. Well, then again, I'm not going to ask you to live your life in any certain way. You fulfill the requirements that I set for you to the fullest, the end. Yeah, that's it. I have no prejudice towards these people, I just have a differing opinion. And like I said before, Cat Blaq is how you should live your life if you're trans. I don't think there's any regret with Cat at all. I'd be surprised if Cat came out and said that there was regrets. Very surprised. And I'm a very good judge of character. I've only been wrong about one person in the past 5 years of my life, which is when I really started examining people, and that's my current girlfriend. But, like I said, you live your life the way you choose to live it. If you have any regrets or anything of that nature, anything that may cause you to think, maybe I should reassert myself, you reassert yourself. You think about how you're going to live your life. You think if that's what you really want. And as such, you do so. You come to the decision, and then after that, you have no regrets, and you have the fullest resolve to live that way. Anyways, a bit of a long-winded video, but you know, Kat did a 20-minute video about this. I know those guys who want to sit around and preach, oh, why don't you turn a dog into a cat or a cat into a dog? It's not exactly the same argument. Seeing as though, well, baby fetuses usually are genderless. Are always genderless whenever they start out. That's why you can't tell if they're a boy or a girl until after a certain amount of time. And that also depends on what's in the food of the person that's eating it. That also depends on what it turns into. Boy or girl. Now, if you liked what I said, like, subscribe, dislike, whatever. I still want to know your thoughts and opinions on it. If this seemed a bit negative towards the trans people at first, nah, it's not. Like I said before, I don't agree with the lifestyle, but if that's the way you want to live, go ahead and live it. And from what I've seen from Kat Blaq's videos, Kat's been able to do more as a female than Kat would have ever been able to do as a male. At least that's the impression I'm getting. Lives a richer and fuller life than 99% of the people that I see around me. And those are usually the people that want to sit around and bitch, oh, your lifestyle's evil, da 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 da. You don't have to agree with everyone's lifestyle. This is America, remember? And so, that concludes my video. I want to know what you guys think. Have a nice day.